Hello, I'm Sarah Muirhead, editor at Feedstuffs, and welcome to this Feedstuffs Fast Chat. Today we're talking with Dave Whitty, product manager at Forage Genetics International. Thank you, Dave, for joining us here today.
Yes, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Let's jump right into our discussion, and that discussion is around the effects of delaying alfalfa harvest. Talk to us about what agronomic and nutritional changes happen in alfalfa when harvest is delayed by, say, a week, when we're talking about those conventional varieties. What should be expected there?
Yes, alfalfa is a very valuable source of protein and fiber digestibility, but the window is very narrow with conventional alfalfa as far as getting high quality forage. So you can harvest at a 26 to 28 day window, but if you get much farther than that, you've got a lot of volume of alfalfa, but the quality really drops off very quickly after that 28-day harvest window.
So what then would you say are the risks and the rewards of delaying a cutting? To say sometimes you have to wait out the weather. What factors should you consider when you have to do that?
The rewards of delaying a harvest is you get a lot more yield. So alfalfa grows about an inch a day. It's about 125 pounds of dry matter per day per acre. So over a week, if you delay that harvest, you get about half a ton of additional yield. But if it's conventional alfalfa, the quality of that alfalfa really has dropped off. So the risks are really that low quality, high volume alfalfa that a dairy operation has to supplement with additional protein, additional digestible fibers. So it's a lot of additional cost to that dairy operation if you have conventional alfalfa that has dropped off in quality with a delayed harvest.
Yeah, that can add up when you're onto your bottom line. That can really have an impact. So then talk to us about how Harv Extra alfalfa responds, say, differently when it comes to a delayed harvest when we compare that to more of the conventional varieties.
So Harv Extra was brought to the market to provide flexibility. So at a 28-day harvest, Harv Extra has about 15% higher fiber digestibility, about 15% higher relative forage quality compared to conventional at 28 days. But that allows Harv Extra to be harvested at 35 days and have comparable forage quality at 35 days to conventional at 28 days. So it provides growers a lot of flexibility to harvest early for high quality, delay harvest by a week and maintain that dairy quality forage for a high producing dairy herd, and then work around weather events, equipment breakdowns, family events, holidays that you have in the summer. So it really gives growers a lot of flexibility to continually get high quality forage through a lot of varying variables.
I'm sure you've seen a lot of what farmers are doing out there, but do you have any like real world examples of the scenario you're talking about here and kind of how that plays out on the farm?
Yeah, I've got a couple of them. So first, when we launched Harv Extra, we had 20 large dairy operations. We gave them some Harv Extra seed, some conventional seed. We asked them to manage it the same, plant it the same, pest control the same, and harvest both of them on a 28-day schedule. And they all said, yes, we can do that. And then we're going to run a feeding study with their dairy operations to see if there's a milk response with Harv Extra versus conventional. Well, they planned on cutting on a 25 or 28-day schedule. But Mother Nature has the last say, and about half of them had a delayed harvest schedule. So they harvested at 35 days, some were at 40 days. So the delayed harvest, when fed to dairy cows, had a similar milk response to the conventional at 28 days. So it really was a real world example of the value of Harv Extra with a delayed harvest and continuing to get high quality forage for a high producing dairy at a delayed harvest. The other one is I went to a local dairy here in west central Wisconsin. They've got about 3,000 dairy cows, and the grower has transitioned all of his alfalfa acres to Harv Extra. He said before he was cutting on a 28-day schedule, he had to look at the calendar, look at the weather, decide if he had a weather event coming, did he cut early or did he take a chance that it wasn't going to rain? But now with Harv Extra, he doesn't worry about cutting schedule. He just knows he's always going to get high quality. So if the weather allows him to cut at 28 days, great. If he delays out to 35 days, great. He's getting additional yield and he knows that he's still going to have high quality forage. So it gives him a lot of flexibility and not having to worry about managing through potentially low quality conventional alfalfa because of the value of the Harv Extra trade.
May not seem like a big deal until you need that flexibility. Then it's a big deal. So, Dave, any final thoughts to leave our listeners here with today, or maybe where to go to get more information?
Yeah, if you want more information on the Harvextra technology, you can go to harvextra.com.
Very good. Well, that's all we have time for here today. We appreciate your insight, Dave, and for joining us. Thank you all for joining us as well for this Feedstuffs Fast Chat.